So if you are anything like me, you've probably had your Steam account for quite some time now. And the majority of the time I've had this account, I've also been subscribed to Humble Bundle, which has given me an amazing amount of games. The problem is most of them I've never even played. So let's change that. So you know when you guys were playing Hotline Miami and you were smashing heads and shooting people in the asshole and like just really wrecking shit, and you thought, man, I wish all these weapons fucking sucked and everyone was kind of racist? Well then, this is the game for you. Honestly, if I wanted to be kind of unfair, then yeah, the Cliff Notes one note of this game is it's Hotline Miami with Cowboys. That's what it is. It's top-down shooter, super fast-paced, everyone gets killed in roughly one shot, the music fucking slaps, and that's it. That's basically it, you know? And when I was looking at a lot of the reviews and things like that after the fact, a lot of them did kind of reference Hotline Miami, but I actually think it's a little bit unfair because to me, this game is actually a lot more reminiscent of sort of like what I would consider the golden age of Flash games, you know, like I could see this on Newgrounds next to things like, you know, Fancy Pants Adventure or even the Papa's games or Meat and Fuck, you know. So I actually really liked it. Don't get me wrong, I have quite a few criticisms, but overall, love this game. So my first criticism is, I don't know if this was just me misunderstanding, but it felt buggy as shit. Like my progress wouldn't really get saved between sessions. There was a section where like I got to Act 4 and I'd only done like the first mission, but for some reason it unlocked the entire chapter and I could kind of like choose to just skip sections. There was also sections where I wasn't really sure like how far away enemies could hear me from. Like I don't know if it was the gun I was using, like maybe the shotgun was like louder than the pistol. Like I get that the knife is meant to be a stealth kill, but like I don't know, the detection radius seemed like just random to me. I'm also a bit of an achievement whore, so the moment I found out that there was an achievement for collecting hats, I was like, fucking yes, please. But again, this was kind of bugged and it didn't seem to save my progress on the hats I had collected, so in the end I literally just ended up like loading this one save, collecting one hat over and over and over again until the achievement popped, and that just worked. And actually, while we're talking about it, I also got an achievement for skipping like X amount of dialogue. I actually got that by accident because for some reason when the dialogue would end, if I clicked, it wouldn't close the dialogue box, so I had to skip it anyway. Like I don't know if I was just being stupid, but I literally couldn't seem to close the dialogue box without skipping it. Another thing I found kind of weird was the money system. Like again, the money system didn't really make too much sense to me. Like you could get more just from like searching containers, killing enemies, there was a chance to spawn, and then like whenever you would find like sort of a town hub, it's into a pre-generated area that was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 variations, and you had to basically rob this chest at the end of the level. And so what I would find is a lot of the time I would get to these hub towns where I could then get this perk, and I would just have to kind of like grind out bounty hunter missions like a couple of times till I had the money for it. And these perks were not made equal. Like there was one where I think it was called Cuirass, where you had a chance to negate any damage you hit. That was amazing, and that was right at the end of the game. But then there was another one which was called 12 is better than 6, where you would actually dual wield your pistols, and it fucked me up. Because by the time you get this perk, you've played, you know, 4 or 5 hours where you have to right click to cock the weapon and then left click to shoot it. So you have this built-in kind of motor memory of like, okay, I have to aim and then shoot. But the 12 is better than 6 perk negates that, and you basically left click is shooting one gun, right click is shooting another gun. It just completely fucked my feng shui of how I played the game. I don't know, maybe that was me, but I literally did not use the pistols again after I got that perk. Stuff I loved, the music fucking slapped. Like honestly, just listen to this shit. If this doesn't get you hyped, I do not know what will. I also loved how quick you could get back into the fight. One thing I loved about Hotline Miami was, you know, if you died, you just insta reset. I played through all the Souls games, and one of the biggest things I hated about that would be the walk back to the boss fight. So for me to fuck up and die and then immediately be like, right, let's try and fix that, it was very cathartic. There's also a few set pieces that are really fun. There's a couple of scenes where you get to use a Gatling gun, and that is a very like tactile feeling gun. Like you can feel the power behind it. And as ever, I love using shotguns in games. I like feeling a gun that's like meaty, and the shotgun was super satisfying to use. The bow and arrow in this game was also pretty cool. I don't know what it is about bow and arrows, guys. They're just satisfying to use. There wasn't a lot of enemy variation, but the ones that I did like were the ones that would just sprint at you like fucking crazy. It's not like they were particularly dangerous or like scary, but I don't know, there's just something about the idea of someone like bull rushing you with a melee weapon, it just fucks you up. And the writing as a whole was pretty strong. The dialogue was kind of thin, there wasn't a whole lot of it, but when they did use it, they made it count. There's quite a few weird and wonderful factions kind of doing their own thing, and I really enjoy the cultists. You stumble upon them while you're traveling, and basically this guy who's part of the cult is like, hey, can you help us out, because our prophets are kind of acting a bit weird, can you just take him down a peg? And the protagonist is basically like, okay, and just fucking shoots him, which I wasn't expecting. It kind of did take me by surprise. And I do like that towards the final act, you basically get to a point where every faction in this area is pissed off of you for one reason or another. You have no agency as a player over this, it's just how the story goes, but I don't know, it's funny to see like the consequences of your actions all come to a head at the end of the game. The ending is quite sudden, it's a little bit Sopranos-esque the way it just suddenly ends and there's no closure, but like that's fine. The story isn't the main aspect of this. I don't know, maybe they just ran out of time and development. So I don't know, maybe one day we'll have 24 is better than 12 and it will, you know, explain everything. But until then, yeah, highly recommend this game, man. It's just a bit of dumb fun. It's not The Witcher, it's not Death Stranding, it's not Metal Gear Solid, you know, it's not this insane narrative opera, but it's a bit of good fun. It took me about 6 hours to complete. It'll get you sorted for a little while. And I now have a new gimmick for this, because originally I was literally going to go through like A to Z, but instead I have been putting all of my games onto a spin the wheel, so we will see what next week's video is. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.